Hi, I'm Eric Roeder and I'm with Driver Development here at Bison Transport in Winnipeg, Canada. And I'm very excited today to show you something very special. The new completely redesigned Freightliner Cascadia. Very fortunate here at Bison Transport to receive this test unit. We're one of only 12 companies in North America that has a chance to try out this new truck, and this truck will likely be released as a 2018 Freightliner Cascadia. Well, let's start looking at the front of the truck. Immediately apparent is the new full windshield that allows for much improved wiper travel and an increased line of vision for our drivers. Looking down onto the hood, we see a very sculpted hood, and that leads us down to a very aggressive looking grille, along with slanted aggressive LED headlights and a very full aerodynamic bumper. Just above the bumper here is the Detroit Safety Assurance 4.0 system, which has also been improved. And coming around the side here, we see very sculpted lines along with an integrated vent in the hood. Cascadia name is mounted right on the side there. And just looking down under the door, we see an integrated side marker right here. And the door continues to be very sculpted, very aerodynamic. Moving towards the back of the truck, we have the new aerodynamic utility lights, and those are LEDs as well. And then towards the back of the truck, we can see mounted on the new wheels with the new flow below aerodynamic wheel cover system. All right, now let's take a look under the hood. So under this hood is Detroit's most advanced powertrain. It's their 15-liter DD15 engine, mated to the DT12 fully automated transmission, and this engine is also downsped, which means it has reduced RPM at highway speeds for improved fuel mileage. We have new engine mounts. The entire engine has been rearranged to make everything more accessible, and everything has been redesigned for a very quiet and pleasant ride, along with improved ability for maintaining the engine. There's also a new remote diagnostic system that allows our maintenance team to check on these trucks and to provide software updates to them while they are out on the road. Over around on this side, we see some redesign of the steering system, again to make things a little more maintainable and also for improved access for the driver. We've got the oil dipstick here, the filler for the oil, the coolant, the power steering fluid, the fuel filter. Everything is very easily accessible for on-the-road inspections. All right. So we're here now inside the new pre-release Cascadia. And I can see right away we've got some different controls here for the windows and the door locks, and also a different setup here to adjust the very clean line new aerodynamic mirrors on the steering wheel. Very simple and well laid out controls for the driver, along with a new information screen right in the middle of the dash. 5-inch screen, very visible. There's about 6 icons that run along the top of it. You can select between home, which shows fuel mileage, voltage, odometer, and your fuel economy. Then we can switch over to speed for the speedometer. The next one is the diesel particulate filter. So I can actually use these controls here to start a regen cycle on that filter. The next one is diagnostics. I can control the entire audio system from here. And there's an alarm clock. which is extremely convenient for the driver to be able to set that with simple controls right from the steering wheel. Next to the horn, on the right, there's some controls here for Bluetooth, so a driver is able to answer the phone and make a call hands-free. And there's also some buttons here to flash headlights and to flash clearance lights, and those are used for drivers to communicate with each other when they're passing and that sort of thing. Moving down to this row of buttons here, again, everything is wonderfully ergonomic and with easy reach. Also down here we notice the new orange LED lighting, and actually a considerable amount of cup holders here. Also, these switches here control the interior new dimmable LED lighting provided. Everything is within easy reach. I love it. The climate controls are right here, the radio's right here, and then there's actually a power outlet right here, 12-volt cigarette lighter style power outlet for the CB radio, which there's a built-in mount for right here. And in front of that, you can see that's actually part of the Detroit Assurance 4.0 safety system. That is the lane departure warning camera system. And the way that those systems operate is all that information from the camera is fed into a computer, and the computer determines where the lane is. As the driver's driving, suppose the driver gets fatigued and maybe weaves out of the lane. If that happens, the computer detects that and will actually make the sound of rumble strips through either the left or right side speaker, alerting the driver to the fact that he may be weaving in and out of the lane. Here we are in the sleeper compartment of the truck, and the first thing that's absolutely striking is just the sheer amount of storage. There's storage everywhere, and the height is incredible. It's very comfortable, feels very roomy. And looking up at the ceiling, we can see the new dimmable LED lighting. It's nearly as light as daylight in here. It's excellent. There's a lot of storage everywhere. Here's set up for a driver to put a microwave, and then there's actually a bracket back here to mount a LCD TV onto. There's a new redesigned cabinet here with a very large drawer and a great fridge right there. And then we've got a very comfortable looking sleeper area. So coming around the corner here, exactly beside the driver, where the driver's head would be when they're resting, are the controls for the bunk area. We've got a heat air conditioning vent right there. The controls for the heat and the air conditioning are right here. There's a built-in alarm clock. We've got the control for the interior dome lighting and all the other lighting, and we can also mute the stereo system from here. And then I thought this was pretty neat. There's a new little adjustable lamp for the driver to be able to read. There's a wonderful shelf right here that a driver can put their cell phone right there when they're sleeping. Really a nice setup. We've got an extra bunk here with a very clever design. You turn that knob, pops down, and then you pop down the ladder, and the ladder extends right to the floor for easy access for someone to climb up into the upper bunk. Fantastic. Okay, we've looked at a lot of amazing features of this new truck. Let's go for a drive. Wow, the brakes are good. Ooh, sense it. I barely touched it. So let's just drive around the block. Feels great. Wow, it looks like it's starting to rain a little bit. Let's try out these new wipers, brand new wipers. On that full screen windshield, I can certainly see everything. Now this is a very bumpy part of road right here. And while I can certainly tell that it's bumpy, it's actually very smooth, and the truck is running very quietly. It's a lot quieter in here. It's very quiet. I think at the end of the day, driving this truck, I would be considerably less fatigued than I would be with one of the older models.
Well, as you can see, we have a great interior. It's very luxurious. The seat that we have
and have over 200 tractors operating with two 53-foot trailers behind them. That requires